Hey, it's Daryl at 10 Foot Truck doing another video today. Sitting in the parking lot. I'm doing a food delivery. But I just completed that for Grubhub, so I'm doing the apps today, and that's because I had like 3 different jobs canceled on me. For one was a junk removal, the other was a moving job, and then the other was also a removal. So 2 removals and a moving job. They both canceled, unfortunately, because that would have been good money. So what happens when I get cancellations, I just turn on the apps, either do Roadie or Grubhub or Uber Eats or DoorDash, just to keep the money flowing. I can't really afford to not do something pretty much every day. So I'd prefer to be doing obviously doing my truck and doing the removals and the deliveries every single day. That would be the ultimate goal. But since I started in a new area, and I'm kind of I don't know anybody in this town, so I don't have any connections like I did when I was in my old cities. I worked in 2 other cities. When I first started my truck business, I started in the Seattle area, and then I moved to Portland, Oregon, and I did that for 5 years, and I got some good contracts there with a chair store, and so I was doing a lot of deliveries for the chair outlet, and they're really a great company. I really liked working for them. And then I had, at the same time, I was doing consignment stores. I was doing estate interiors in Bellevue, which is great. I made a lot of money with them, lots of deliveries, lots of connections that moved on to referrals, which they still call me to this day. Even years later, I still get calls from that area, from Bellevue. I also was able to get on the Microsoft board, or on their message board, or whatever you call it, for advertising for services. So I got a lot of people that worked at Microsoft. I was moving them. I still get calls from them. But unfortunately, I moved away from them. I moved to Eastern Washington, which is about 300 or so miles east of Seattle, so I don't really go over there anymore. Occasionally I'll go there and do a job, but it's a long drive. So I'm out here in the Spokane area, which is a new market for me. And when I first moved here, I started doing jobs, and then the pandemic thing came in, so it was causing, there was a lot of shutdowns for furniture stores and that type of stuff. So I didn't really I kind of stopped doing it for a while, so I shut it down for a while, and then I just started doing it again. I started kind of marketing it. I started marketing in April of this year. I figure I'll start doing that again. So I've only been really marketing my truck business for, well, let's say April, May, June, July, August. Was that 4 months? Is that right? April, May, June, July, August, 5 months. So I've only been doing 5 months, and I've gotten some pretty good connections and pretty good response. But since I don't have any I don't know anybody in this area, like when I was in my other towns, I had friends that would work with me. I didn't really have to hire people, because fortunately, it's better to work with friends or partners. And I had like a partner and friends that would work with me, and that made it much better than having to hire people for helping and for networking. I did have crews when I was down in the Portland area. I was doing moving labor. I had like 4 or 5 guys that I would hire, and I'm telling you, it was a nightmare. I mean, here's an example. I started doing these app things, which are now, they're becoming very popular to do apps and to connect business and all that. Well, they had them way back when I was working at UPS. I needed to do side work on the weekends, and I started doing what was called Emove. Back then, that was like 2004, and that was the first time where you could go on the computer and you could advertise yourself on like an app, and they were working through U-Haul. So I was getting a ton of jobs through that, and I would hire people. That was a great app. I don't know what it's called now. It's probably changed. I think it's Moving Labor or Moving Help or something. But they have a contract through U-Haul. So I was able to get quite a bit of business and hire friends and help them get work, and it went on for some time. And I was making the money back then too was better. Like you could do just labor, not even with a truck. You could do like $35 an hour with like a 3-hour minimum, just doing labor, which is harder now. It's not the same. I think price of labor's gone down. I don't know why, even with inflation. But back then I was making really good money, and I mean, sometimes I swear I was making like $1,000 days just doing labor. If you can believe that, driving around in a small car with great gas mileage. Gas was cheap. And I had a lot of problems with people I was working with. I'm not going to mention any names, but you know, I had partners that were just not serious about their work. At least not. It's kind of goofing off, and you know, I was trying to take it serious, trying to build a business. We would get ratings. I had like a 4 or 5 star rating, and over time, some of the stuff, like they were just breaking things and doing stupid stuff and talking crap on the job, and just it's very hard to find good help these days, or even back then. So one of the guys, you know, just said so much stuff that I just got really bad ratings. Like it went down to 1 star, and then they finally just threw me off the app. You know, once you get down that low, you can't go on there. Even to this day, I can't go on that app. And that was years ago. That was back in 2008. So I mean, I went from like 2004 to 2008 on that, and that was a great app to make money. And that was before. Now they have all these other apps that they're coming in. That was way before that. So now I'm seeing a lot of this, and that's what I'm doing right now, is kind of working with all these different types of apps. But now that I'm in a new town, I don't know anybody. I don't have any connections. I don't have friends here that besides, I can't find. I'm not going to go on Craigslist and like I used to and advertise for help, because I had some really bad experiences doing that. I tried to screen people, and it was unbelievable, some of the stuff. I mean, I'm not even going to get into that. I just, like I said, since 2004 till before I moved out of the Seattle area, when I was doing it there, probably around 2017. I had like one guy, or one helper, and then like some friends that were really good, but the people that I would hire off Craigslist, it was a waste of time. Sometimes they would just might as well not even be there. And if I could do the job alone, I would have, because that's how bad it was. And I wish maybe I have bad luck with hiring people, but now I'm just on my own, and I like just doing my own. But there are some limitations to doing it on your own, because you can't, if the customer's not going to help and they really need another helper, you know, I can bring a friend if I can get their schedule worked out right. But to hire somebody, it doesn't really make sense at this point. So I'm kind of stuck there. I'm trying to just do that niche market where I'm like a rental truck. I have the truck, I have the tools, I have the blankets, the dollies, the knowledge. I have everything. I have harnesses. I have everything a mover would need. When I have to go on a delivery job, I have everything that's set up, the wrap, all that. I can bring all that like a rental truck without charging them the rental fees, just charging them whatever my fee is for my labor in the truck, which is pretty damn fair. And that's kind of my niche now, is like, these guys are looking for rental trucks to go do this if they don't have a pickup truck. And, they'd be better off just hiring me, because then they don't have to go down to the store, to the rental shop. They don't have to fill out the paperwork. They don't have to do the insurance. I cover all that. They don't have to rent all the equipment. And then on top of that, I'm helping them with the labor, and I have a lot of experience doing that. I've been pretty much in the moving industry off and on. I mean, my first job as a mover, driving a moving truck, was back in 1987. I was like 21 years old. Or what? How old was I? Yeah, somewhere around there. I was around 87, I think. And I drove a big moving truck, and I learned from some of these guys who had been doing it for a long time. A lot of the guys working at the moving company during